Hello. As you probably can tell from the title of this video, this isn't going to be a video about Magic the Gathering, at least not directly. This was, however, a thought that I'd had in light of the hacking of Magic YouTuber Alpha Investment and the subsequent ordeal that Rudy, the channel's owner, has been going through trying to get things straightened out. So, as a quick little summary of what happened over at Alpha Investments, if you haven't heard, Rudy's channel was recently hacked into, and the financial information pertaining to his AdSense account, which handles the channel's revenue, was rerouted to what I presume was the hacker's bank account. The hacker then deleted any login information that would let Rudy access his account, making it impossible for him to fix what's happened. Now, here's where the problem I see begins. Since the events of the hacking, Rudy has filled out countless forms and appeals trying to get his channel back under his control. Unfortunately, there is a great deal of automation over at YouTube and Google's Help Center, and many of these forms have been met with basically auto-generated responses. People from all across YouTube, from Tolarian to Boogie to HQ, have all been trying to help draw this to the attention of someone at either Google or YouTube to help try and fix this. But again, with all the automation within Google and YouTube, this is a daunting task. It is incredibly difficult to get in touch with any human who works for Google. As far as I know, just about every form of communication they have is with a robot, which is a serious problem. This is a very serious issue that Rudy has on his plate, and if there was a human at the end of any of these forms or appeals, the problem would have been fixed a lot quicker than it likely will, if at all. I have a lot of hope that Rudy's channel will be at some point restored, but at what point in time, it's not going to be soon enough. This is something I very much think needs change. YouTube has millions of creators. We of the Magic the Gathering YouTube community are extremely small in size if you think about it. Our largest channels are only at max about 150,000 subscribers. Tolarian's is at like 179. Rudy is part of what I've always referred to as sort of the mid-sized channels, along with channels like Cybin and Open Boosters, that they have around 20 to 60,000 subscribers. They're a lot larger than someone like me, but still nowhere near as large as some of the bigger names like Boogie, who have several million subscribers. YouTube thrives off of its creators. The revenue that the creators bring in is what helped YouTube grow. So logic would say that YouTube, and by extension Google, would want to ensure its users have the best experience possible and have the proper care when something like this arises. Having nearly all of its communication with its creators be automated, if even accessible, seems rather ineffective. Let's look at it from another perspective. Rudy is a YouTube partner, which means he'll make money off of the revenue generated by the advertisements you see when you click on his videos. While some partners like myself only get a few dollars a month, there is a great deal of channels that rely on YouTube as their primary source of income. When you have people who use your website as their job, it should be your responsibility as the webmaster to ensure their job is as secure as you can possibly make it. Google has a great deal of influence and control over the internet. You can't try to tell me they cannot get a team of people together as a customer care center or something who have an easy to access phone number or email, who a creator like Rudy can get in touch with a human being. I don't understand why it's so difficult to get a hold of a human at Google. Even further than that, some of the forms Rudy's filled out have flat out refused him because he has less than 100,000 subscribers. This is an absurd flaw that shouldn't exist. You have a ton of channels out there with less than 100,000 subscribers. Hell, half the Magic YouTube community is there. Some, like Rudy's that are growing larger, need support. YouTube needs to fix the system that will offer their help to channels of any size, whether they have one subscriber or if they got several million, because having that sort of threshold of assistance can and will deter potential creators from ever starting channels. And if they know that YouTube's not going to offer any assistance until they've reached this required channel size, what's the future of the site going to hold? So, what can be done? Rudy is fighting to get his channel back to his control. The Magic the Gathering YouTube community is voicing its concerns on Twitter. I hope very much to see Alpha Investments return to normal. if there's any way to get in touch with Google or YouTube to a live representative, it needs to be made much easier to do so. I understand that all the people who would be contacting YouTube with their problems, if the contact was available, would absolutely flood them, but I think that they'd be able to find a better way to handle these kinds of problems than literally Microsoft Sam sending you an automated message saying, sorry, we can't help. As for the rest of us, I implore the Magic community's creators to go through every page they use, whether it's Google, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, PayPal, AdSense, whatever else you use right now, and update every form of security. Make sure the system you're using, your computer, whether it's Mac, PC, whatever, has the most up-to-date security measures. Install a firewall. It'll keep out the threats like hackers and viruses. Update these regularly so your computer is up to date with every latest little thing. Change your passwords regularly and ensure that they're long and intricate. As much as it's easier to remember all of them being the same, you do not want to use the same password for all of your websites. One gets found out, the rest of them are going to be super easy to access. Make sure your system has anti-malware, anti-spyware software on it. I personally use Hitman Pro. It goes through everything very deeply, a lot more than something like McAfee. Lastly, never open an email from an unknown source or a link from an unknown email that looks questionable. Phishing emails have become a lot harder to detect, as the case with Rudy's channel, hacking was due to a phishing email. I would recommend using one separate email for YouTube and, YouTube related services like AdSense for creators, and have a second email unrelated for personal emails. This second email should have absolutely no connection to permit a potential hacker from getting into your YouTube one from the personal one, but I would definitely recommend it so that way you have like a second form of identification should YouTube need verification. You have that second email there. Now, I really hate to sound pessimistic about something as wonderful as the Magic community in this video, but when it comes to the YouTube community, we definitely need to have each other's backs. This was a heavy blow to the community. Alpha Investments was just one channel, and one of the mid-sized ones at that. What if something like this happened to one of the larger channels? If YouTube's not going to step in to help literally a breach of security like this, what happens if they go after even larger channels? Or literally if they decide to try and get after the whole YouTube site as a whole? I really hope that Alpha Investments gets corrected quickly. I hope that we can all take steps from here to ensure that this never happens again to anyone. Because as it looks, should any of the rest of us get hacked as well, there's literally nothing we're going to be able to do to fix it. Not easily, at least. So, unfortunately, since we're on our own to keep our channel secure, we need to step up every method of security on our own. I would very much hope that YouTube and Google changes their communications methods to put more humans behind these emails, because a human will be able to do a lot more than a robot. If there is one person out there who works for Google or YouTube who is watching this, please bring these problems to attention. I know this is not the only case of a hacking like this. Boogie's channel was hacked not too long ago. And until things change behind the scenes, it definitely will not be the last time. But YouTube definitely needs to change to help its creators for the future of the website. Thank you.